seriously.
Jason Kenney, thank you for coming in from Alberta and giving us all your time. Really great to have you here. Okay, let's listen in live now to the Prime Minister's wife, Diana Fox-Carney.
Bonsoir Canada, et merci pour votre vote.
Hello, Canada, and thank you for your vote.
Thank you for supporting your Liberal candidates. And thank you for choosing my husband's vision of a positive, unified, and above all, a strong country. Over the past few weeks, Mark and I have had the enormous privilege of meeting so many people across this great country. Everywhere we've visited, we've been energized by the passion, the commitment, and the kindness and belief that we have encountered, not to mention the beauty and diversity of this amazing country. As we've traced a path from winter into spring, through all this, I've watched my husband listen and learn. I've watched him inspire confidence and take on new skills. But most of all, I've seen him remain true to what he's always been: consistent, compassionate, loyal, and driven by an exceptionally strong set of values. He's thoughtful, respectful, and honest. And I think and hope that you have come to appreciate that alongside his capacity for dealing with the most serious of matters, he has a great mind for trivia, a wicked sense of humor, and a wonderful smile. He's been that way since our very first date, back when we were young grad students, when we went to that dinner, and he said to me, he stopped the conversation and he said to me, "I want you to know I'm committed to move back to Canada and to work in the public service." So here we are. As his partner, I could not be more proud of him. And as a Canadian, I'm so thankful that the man I met more than 30 years ago has held tight to that strong commitment to service. I'm lucky to have him. We're lucky to have him now more than ever. Without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce my husband, the Prime Minister who will make Canada strong, and Canada forward.
That is Nepean. That is the spirit of Nepean behind me right there. Thank you. Bonsoir tout le monde.
Good evening,
Bonsoir.
everyone.
Oh, quel bonsoir. C'est un bon bonsoir.
What an evening.
I have a question. Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready to stand up for Canada with me? And who's ready? Who's ready to build Canada strong? Okay, we got that settled. That's good. Avant de commencer, je voudrais féliciter.
Before I begin, I would like to congratulate the other party leaders on their campaign and all the work that they did. I want to thank them for their service to Canada, now and in future.
I want to thank the leaders of the other parties. I want to salute the contribution of Jagmeet Singh. I noticed his remarks. Yeah. Leading on progressive values. Elizabeth May, who will be returning. François Blanchet. And I want to congratulate Pierre Poilievre on a hard-fought fair, good campaign, his commitment to the country that we both love. They all have many, many more contributions to our land. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Diana, for your work on this campaign. Thank you, Diana, for the commitment and compassion you bring to everything that you do. Tonight simply would not have been possible without you and without the support of our 4 children who inspire me to service every single day. I also want to salute the women and men who put their name on the ballot from all parties. Thank you for standing up to serve our country at this critical time. And for those who were elected, particularly those Liberals who were elected, I am looking forward to working together to deliver for Canadians. I'm going to say, Bruce. And Bruce, yes, Bruce Vanjo. I'm looking forward to working with Bruce Vanjo. Fantastic. He will be a great MP. We're going to have fun tonight. Yes, we're going to have fun. Bien sûr. Je tiens à remercier les milliers de bénévoles.
I want to thank the thousands of volunteers who are here tonight and across the country that gave their time so that we could talk to Canadians, who spoke to Canadians, who spoke to their neighbors, who made the calls. The people who worked so hard so that we could have Canada strong.
You know, I chose to enter politics because I felt we needed big changes in this country. But big changes guided by strong Canadian values. Values that I learned at the dinner table from my parents, Bob and Verley, and from my siblings. I appreciate this more in retrospect from my siblings. My siblings, Brenda, Sean, and Brian. Values that I learned on the ice from my coaches. Values that have been reinforced as I've met with Canadians across this great country. And those include 3 values that I want to highlight this evening. Humility. It's Canada after all. Ambition. It's Canada after all. And unity. It's Canada. I love you. Right back. Right back. These are good values. These are Canadian values. Values that I will do my best. I'm just getting worked up here. These are values that I will do my best to uphold every day as your Prime Minister. You betcha. Okay, well, you have to judge after this next section because I am going to begin with the value of humility. And by admitting that I have much to be humble about. It's true. Over my long, that's not an applause line, it's just a statement of fact. Over my long career, I have made many mistakes, and I will make more. But I commit to admitting them openly, to correcting them quickly, and always learning from them. You know, humility underscores the importance of governing as a team in cabinet and in caucus, and working constructively with all parties across Parliament. Of working in partnership with the provinces and the territories, and with Indigenous peoples. And at this time, it underscores the value of bringing together labor, business, civil society, to advance the nation-building investments we need to transform our economy. Humility is also about recognizing that one of the responsibilities of government is to prepare for the worst, not hope for the best. As I've been warning for months, America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen. But we also must recognize the reality that our world has fundamentally changed. There is also, for me, as I stand before you this evening, humility in recognizing that, well, many have chosen to place your trust in me, trust in the Liberal Party. Millions of our fellow citizens preferred a different outcome. And my message to every Canadian is this: no matter where you live, no matter what language you speak, no matter how you voted, I will always do my best to represent everyone who calls Canada home. You know, during this short campaign, I went to Saskatchewan and Alberta a couple of times, even though, you know, we're Liberals. It's tough. It's tough out there. I grew up there. But I went because I intend to govern for all Canadians. And au cours de cette campagne, plusieurs Québécois et Québécoises
throughout this campaign,
ouvert leurs portes, m'ont
Quebecers
accordé
opened their
leur
doors to me and gave me
J'en
their
suis
confidence.
profondément touché,
And
et je vous
I have been
en
deeply
remercie.
touched by that, and I want to
La langue
thank you.
française. La langue française,
The French
la culture
language,
québécoise, elles
Quebec
sont
culture
au cœur de l'identité
are
canadienne.
at the very center of Canadian identity.
Elles définissent
They
le pays
define
que
this
j'aime
country,
tant.
the country that I
Je
love so
vais
much.
les défendre sans
And
relâche.
I will defend them tirelessly.
Avec la forte équipe de députés québécois,
With my team of Quebec members of Parliament that you have just sent to Ottawa, we will ensure that Quebec will continue to prosper within a strong Canada.
et que vous soyez un travailleur
And
des
whether
sables bitumineux à
you're
Fort Mac,
a
une
worker
infirmière de Joliette,
in Fort Mac
ou un
or
comptable de Toronto. Il
an
y a
accountant
plusieurs
from
comptables
Toronto
à Toronto.
or a worker
Mon
from
gouvernement va
Quebec,
travailler
my
pour vous
government
tous.
will work for all
So,
of you.
As we come here after this most consequential election, let's put an end to the division and anger of the past. We are all Canadian, and my government will work for and with everyone. I began with humility, but Canadians are ambitious. And now, more than ever, it is a time for ambition. It is a time to be bold, to meet this crisis with overwhelming positive force of a united Canada. Because we are going to build, baby, build. Exactly. Throughout, not for, well, no, we're building now. We've gotten over that bit. Throughout our history, there have been turning points. Throughout our history, there have been turning points when the world's fortunes were in the balance. That was the case at the start of the Second World War, just as it was at the end of the Cold War. And each time, Canada chose to step up, to assert ourselves as a free, sovereign, and ambitious nation, to lead the path of democracy and freedom, and, because we are Canadian, to do so with compassion and generosity. We are once again at one of those hinge moments of history. Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The system of open global trade, anchored by the United States, a system that Canada has relied on since the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped deliver prosperity for a country for decades is over. These are tragedies, but it's also our new reality. We are over the shock of the American betrayal, but we should never forget the lessons.
But you're going to take us forward.
We have to look out for ourselves, and above all, we have to take care of each other. When I sit down with President Trump, it will be to discuss the future economic and security relationship between two sovereign nations. And it will be with our full knowledge that we have many, many other options than the United States to build prosperity for all Canadians. Nous allons renforcer nos relations avec des partenaires
We will
fiables
strengthen our relations with reliable partners in Europe, Asia, and elsewhere. And if the United States no longer wants to be in the forefront of the global economy, Canada will. We are masters in our own home. We will build millions of housing units. We will become an energy superpower. We will provide good careers in skilled trades and one economy, not 13.
Because this is Canada, and we decide what happens here. We will need to think big and act bigger. Your phone's ringing. Sorry, just okay. All right. Just hang on. It's okay? Yeah. That might be important. We will need to do things previously thought impossible at speeds we haven't seen in generations. It's time to build twice as many homes every year with an entirely new housing industry using Canadian technology, Canadian skilled workers, Canadian lumber. It's time to build new trade and energy corridors, working in partnership with the provinces, territories, and Indigenous peoples. It's time to build hundreds of thousands of not just good jobs, but good careers in the skilled trades. It's time to build Canada into an energy superpower in both clean and conventional energy. And it's time to build an industrial strategy that makes Canada more competitive while fighting climate change. We will build one Canadian economy, not 13, with a government committed to free trade in Canada by Canada Day. The point is that we can give ourselves far more than the Americans can ever take away. But even given that, I want to be clear. The coming days and months will be challenging, and they will call for some sacrifices. But we will share those sacrifices by supporting our workers and our businesses. Les défis devant nous sont intimidants.
The challenges ahead will be difficult, but that is clear. Major changes, such as the ones we're seeing, are always concerning. We have a long way to go, but I'm confident. I'm confident. I trust you, and I have confidence in all of Canada.
Because Canada is more than a nation. We are, and we always will be, a confederation. A sacred set of ideas and ideals built on practical foundations. That we know we're not always perfect, but we always strive to be good. We do things because they're right, not because they're easy. That we see kindness as a virtue, not as a weakness. Most importantly, we know that our strength lies in our resolve to work together as a country. It relies on our unity. You know, on the second day of this campaign, I went to Gander, where on 9/11, they welcomed thousands of passengers into their homes without question or hesitation. I sat down with two of the many heroes of the time, Diane Davis and Beulah Cooper. And during our conversation, they showed me a thank you card that they'd received from a young girl called Ellie, who wrote, "Your kindness motivates me to use my kindness." That touching phrase captures what Canadians instinctively know, that virtue is like a muscle that grows with its exercise. We become just by doing just acts, brave by doing brave acts. When we are kind, kindness grows. When we seek unity, unity grows. When we are Canadian, Canada grows. And united over our history, we have done hard, seemingly impossible things. United, we have built one nation in harsh conditions, despite a sometimes hostile neighbor. Yes, they have form on this, the Americans. United, we have confronted our own past with Indigenous peoples. Unis, nous avons bâti un pays
United,
qui rassemble
we
les
built
langues,
a
les
country
cultures
that
et
brings
les
together
croyances
languages
différentes.
and cultures
Unis,
and
nous
beliefs
avons
that are
bâti
different.
des institutions
We
culturelles
built
essentielles, comme
critical
CBC,
cultural
Radio
institutions,
Canada.
such as CBC, Radio Canada.
United, we have created universal public health care. And now, in the face of this crisis, united, we are buying Canadian. We are exploring everything this country has to offer. We are supporting our friends and neighbors in the crosshairs of President Trump through a crisis that we did not create. United, we will win this trade war and build the strongest economy in the G7, an economy that works for everyone.
In recent months, Canadians have done their part. They came together to defend our country and our way of life, who we are. And I know that when we are threatened, we will fight.
We will fight back with everything we have to get the best deal for Canada. We will protect our workers and businesses, and above all, we will build an independent future for our great country. A future that makes the greatest country on the earth even better. Together, we will build a Canada worthy of our values. We will build Canada strong, Canada free, Canada forever. Vive le Canada. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, a very happy Mark Carney, Prime Minister Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, now elected to that office, given that he also won his own riding of Nepean, talking about his own humility and the ambition that the country needs right now, and reaching out across the country and across the aisle, talking about the millions of people that wanted a different outcome, saying that he will govern for all Canadians, no matter what, and talking about some of the things that he plans to do now to take on Donald Trump. Ashley Burke is in that room.
We will ask for another 10 minutes of your patience.
Okay, Ashley, what are you hearing? How are people feeling?
Well, it sounds like they're resetting the stage for some sort of performance from a musical guest that's going to be coming up. People in the room, I just want to talk about the tone that's changed throughout the night. The last time we heard people before the speech break out into applause is when they heard that Pierre Poilievre congratulate Mark Carney on his victory here. And really, the tone, aside from this music before this, was much more quiet. People, in the crowd were really hoping, they're looking That's something that he's seeking, and we're going to wait and find out if that could happen or not. And he really talked about his message again today, that he wants to be the one, that he wanted to be the one sitting across the table from Donald Trump. And that's something we just heard him speak about again. And people here now, it seems like the energy is going to pick back up and turn more into like a party-like atmosphere here.
Well, there's no doubt they're having a good time there in Nepean, where the Prime Minister Carney, has won the election. His party has won. The Liberals, of course, have won 165 to 147. Carney, in his dramatic speech at the end there, saying America is not Canada, and Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. He also said, we didn't ask for this fight, but Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves, so Americans should make no mistake in trade. As in hockey, Canada will win. He also said, we will never, ever trade our identity, culture, and French language for any trade agreement. And he said, we have to unite to build the strongest, fairest, and freest country in the world. He went on to say that he'll work day and night with one purpose, which is to build stronger Canada for everyone. But I will need help, and I will need a lot of help. Pretty fiery speech for a man who has never, until today, been elected in any office. But today he won his seat quite resoundingly. He certainly has led his party to an incredible comeback. It's unbelievable that they're at 166 projected seats right now. The Conservatives at 146. Just a few weeks ago, they were completely written off. By the way, just to complete the results here, the Bloc Québécois currently at 23 seats, NDP at 7, Green at 1. And the People's Party has sort of disappeared. It's no longer. It seems to be a force to be reckoned with in Canada, which certainly sends a signal around MAGA. The People's Party, of course, was most closely affiliated with MAGA in Canada. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us this very late night at almost 2 a.m. And there's still a lot of people watching. So thank you for being here. I'm whispering because I don't want to wake people up. And I shall see you tomorrow at 3:30 when we do a complete recap with Dean Blundell on the 5 Stack. See you then. Bye-bye.